Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, BY SWAJANI PGT Biology from Burgampahad. First and foremost, hearty congratulations for all the intermediate second years children. And but you missed the essence of exams, even though you will be getting in the MSET and NEET examinations. So all the best for your exams. So today, up to yesterday, I have discussed about 3 chapters. One is living world, another one is biological classification, and plant kingdom. So today I'm going to discuss about science of plants. So what is this science of plants in botany? What is this? So here science of plants is nothing but daily we observe. So most of the products, most of the things, almost all the things, whatever we are using, we are going to get from the plants. So how the science of plants, where the development origin, where the science has origin and development and scope, and also different branches of biology. So these things we are going to observe in this session. So here, these are the things here that will be helpful for us to understand our subject very easily. So before going to start, I cannot stop appreciating the scientists who worked on it for this development of our biology, and that will be available to the even a normal individual. So they can also use the things by understanding the knowledge of the science. So that will be helpful for everyone, every individual, when they are going to apply the principles and knowledge of that science. Here, so on the basis of science, so many products has evolved, so many things makes us our work very easy. So what is that, how the biology has emerged, and what is the origin, and what is the development, what is the scope, and what are the branches that are we are going to learn in this session. So the term biology is from Greek. So that is in Greek language, bios means life and logos means study. So the study of living organisms is called biology. What is biology? The study of living organisms. So the word biology is derived from a Greek language. Bios means life and logos means discuss. So these things will be helpful for you in the MSET compared to the NEET. In MSET point of view, that you will be getting one question over here. The word botany is derived from a Greek word botane, which means herb. So remember, herb. So the Greek word house means cattle, and boskin means cattle field. So the botany is derived from house in, and from botany is term botany is from the botany. The botany word, the botany is derived. So Paleozoic era is known as golden era of biology. So which era? Paleozoic era is known as golden era of biology. Which era is called as golden era of biology? They will be asking. Paleozoic era is golden era of biology. So next, so during 400 BC, Egyptians and Assyrians recorded information. So they have recorded the information related to crop plants and fruit trees in the form of hieroglyphics. So hieroglyphics are the pictures. So these are in the form of pictures. In 4000 BC itself, Egyptians and Assyrians recorded the information. So in the form of hieroglyphics. What are hieroglyphics means? These are the pictures. In the form of pictures, the related information regarding crop plants and fruit trees they have recorded. So during 4000 BC. By 2500 BC, Chinese learned several details of plant cultivation. So several details of plant cultivation has observed by the Chinese in before 2500 BC. Atharvana Veda, written during 200 BC, contains wealth of information on medicinal plants and their uses. So where so many times this question has asked in the normal competitive examinations, where this information regarding medicinal plants and their uses is available means in Atharvana Veda. So Veda in four Vedas. Atharvana Veda is the one where the information regarding medicinal plants and their uses has recorded. And Krishi Parasara is the oldest book on agriculture written by Parasara. So the Parasara wrote what the Parasara wrote. The Parasara wrote Krishi Parasara. So this is the book where it deals with agriculture and weeds, regarding agriculture and weeds. He wrote the book regarding agriculture and weeds. That is nothing but Krishi Parasara. Who wrote the Parasara wrote Krishi Parasara. So Parasara wrote another book of Riksha Ayurveda containing types of forests, external and internal characters of plants, including medicinal plants. So Parasara wrote another book of Riksha Ayurveda. It contained forest, external and internal characters of plants, including medicinal plants. One second. So Theophrastus, the father of botany, described the external and internal characters of plants, including medicinal plants. In 16th and 17th centuries, experimental studies in botany were initiated. In 16th and 17th century, experimental studies. So how the botany was initiated, that will be understood by doing experiments over here in the 16th and 17th centuries. In 1665, Robert Hooke discovered cell. So Robert Hooke discovered cell and published the book Micrographia. So what is the book that Robert Hooke has written is Micrographia in 1665. So here, very important, 1665, the Robert Hooke published the book Micrographia. So next, Gaspard Bohin. So here the Gaspard Bohin is a scientist. He described and identified moreover 6,000 plants, introduced binomial nomenclature for the first time. So he has introduced, but the binomial nomenclature has given importance by Linnaeus. Only Gaspard Bohin has introduced, but binomial nomenclature system was initiated and started in doing, that was done by Linnaeus. Only he has introduced. In 1623, he published the description and identification of 6,000 plants. 6,000 plants introduced the binomial nomenclature for the first time. So Antony von Leeuwenhoek studied bacteria cell for the first time in living condition. So I feel very happy regarding Antony von Leeuwenhoek. Not only him, regarding all the scientists, why the cell is very that much very small. We can't see with our eye, that only observed under the microscope. So these Antony von Leeuwenhoek, who observed bacteria cell for the first time in living condition. So under the microscope, he has identified by inventing the microscopes only, the work of pathogens will be very easy for us, for different diseases, how the diseases are going to be spread and what are the things which is going to be happen inside the cell. The metabolism of the cell will be the cell organelles. So all these can be identified very easily by these scientists. So these are the very much important for the human being. For human being, it is very much important observing the cell and the metabolism of the cell and everything. So here next, Newman Grew and Marcelle Malpighi described plant tissues and laid foundation for anatomy. So he has laid the foundation for anatomy. Anatomy means internal structure of a plant or animal or any organism. So that will be identified by Newman Grew. So next, Camarius described the sexual reproduction plants. He has described the sexual reproduction in plants. So these are the scientists which helpful. They have helped for doing the work of the man very easy. And next, the binomial nomenclature, which is sexual system of classification by Carolus von Linnaeus. So here the questions may be asked like this. So the system of classification by Carolus von Linnaeus is a sexual system of classification or a sexual, like that. They will be asking the question which system, natural system of classification, like that they will be giving options. Then we have to identify this is a sexual system of classification by Carolus von Linnaeus. So he has observed the binomial nomenclature by doing the sexual system of classification. Stephen Hales, who described the root pressure through xylem. So xylem will be involving in the conduction of water. So that was observed and described by using the root pressure theory here by the Stephen Hales. And Joseph Priestley discovered the absorption of toxic gases and releasing of pure bad gas by green plants. In the 10th standard also you have studied Joseph Priestley. So he has done the experiment of so where the gas is oxygen is going to be here. There he has not given the name as oxygen and carbon dioxide, but he said that absorption of toxic gases and releasing of pure gas by the green plants. So he has done, the Priestley has done the experiment, Belger experiment you have seen. So there he has identified this. So next, Gregor John Mendel concluded experiment on pea plant and proposed the genetic class, who is known as father of genetics. Very important, Gregor John Mendel, father of genetics, and on which plant he has done the experiment? Pea plant he has done the experiment. He has taken the 7 characters into consideration. There he has identified different things over there. So these are written in the form of genetic laws. So next, so ecological studies done by Haeckel. Haeckel started doing ecological studies. So next, De Candolle, Enlicher, Bentham and Hooker. So here Bentham and Hooker proposed the different plant classification system. So different plant classification system was proposed by De Candolle and Enlicher and Bentham and Hooker. So next, theory of evolution proposed by Charles Darwin. So theory of evolution was proposed by Charles Darwin. He also proposed the theory natural selection. So natural selection. So this thing we are observing here now, we are during the pandemic situation, in the corona time, we are going to observe this natural selection. Very important, natural selection also. Why? The survival of the fittest. So nature selects the one who is strong and perish the thing who is not that much fitter. So nature selects the things. Nature selects the living organisms even which are very strong. So if you eat properly and if you do the things properly and if you increase your immune system, if you things will be proper, and if you improve your immune system properly, then you will be surviving much years compared to remaining one. So here we can able to understand natural selection by the Darwin. So next, so we also discussed who is the 20th century of Darwin. So 20th century, Darwin of the 20th century, who is called as the Darwin of the 20th century? Ernst Mayr. So this also you should remember. Next, Buckner, who has discovered enzyme gymase in yeast cells. So where the gymase was identified, that is in yeast cells. Who has done this? Buckner in 1898. Next, Sutton and Boveri, they have observed in 1902, they explain role of chromosomes in heredity. So chromosomes play major role in heredity. What is heredity? The genetic material is transformed from one generation to another generation. That is nothing but heredity. Here, the Sutton and Boveri explain the role of chromosomes in heredity. So these play a major role in different advanced things. So Watson and Crick in 1953. So this is important. Watson and Crick in 1953 proposed double helical model of DNA. Double helical model of DNA was proposed by Watson and Crick in 1953. Next, Frankel and Contract in 1956 discovered the genetic nature of RNA. So before that, only the DNA may be the genetic material thing. So after that, Franklin Contract, so they discovered the genetic nature. So DNA and RNA is there, but the genetic nature of RNA has discovered by Frankel and Contract in 1956. And next, H.G. Corona. So he has synthesized the gene artificially by using the, so we know the base pairs, adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine. So these base pairs, by using these base pairs artificially, these base pairs are prepared and these base pairs are introduced. These base pairs are used for the synthesis of gene artificially by H.G. Corona. Who artificially synthesized the gene? H.G. Corona has synthesized the gene artificially. And next, electronic microscope. was invented by Knoll and Ruska. So here these plays major role here. So where the electron microscope was invented, there we are starting doing all the metabolic action, in detailed action of metabolic activities in the cell, in a bacterial cell, virus cell, or even it may be in human beings, whatever, every living organism. So different metabolic activities, how the pathways are going to be happen, that was identified clearly by knowing, by inventing this electronic microscope by Nolan Ruska. And next, FW went in 1928 discovered auxins. So auxins are discovered by FW Wendt. So Wendt, what he has done, he done different experiments on coleoptile. So you have this, by using the coleoptile, he has done experiments and he has observed there is some material which will be useful for the growth of the plant at the tip. So that is nothing but auxins. He has given the name auxins in 1928. So next, Krebs discovered the citric acid cycle in respiration. So in the respiration, citric acid cycle has to done. So that was observed, discovered by Krebs. So Krebs discovered citric acid cycle in respiration. So next, J.B. Sumner, who crystallized the enzyme urease? This question was asked many times. So for the first time, the crystallization of enzyme was done by J.B. Sumner. So which enzyme is that? Urease is the enzyme that was crystallized by J.B. Sumner. And next, Robert Hill, Reuben, Avon, Amerin, they have contributed to the understanding of light reaction in Amaron. So here reaction in photosynthesis. So here photosynthesis, light reaction. What is light reaction actually? Where the plant uses the photo energy and convert the chemical, and the photo energy can be converted into chemical energy that will be used for the breaking of water molecule to release oxygen. Here the light reaction was observed by Robert Hill, Reuben, Avon, Amarin. So here they have developed the light reactions in photosynthesis. So you know the light reaction of photosynthesis, that plays a major role in producing the oxygen. So oxygen will be produced in the photosynthesis by breaking of the photolysis of water. The water molecule will be lysed. So photolysis of water will be taken place, that releases the oxygen in the light reaction. That will be observed by these scientists. So who are they? Robert Hill, Reuben, Avon. So here next, C3 cycle the C3 cycle was described by Malvin Kelvin, and the C4 cycle by Hutchinson. Here this is not C3, C4. So the C4 cycle was by Hatch and Slack. They have discovered the C3 and C4 cycle. C3 cycle by Kelvin and C4 cycle by Hatch and Slack. So C4 cycle is also called as Hatch and Slack pathway. C3 cycle is also called Kelvin cycle. So next, Wodehouse, PKK Nair, CJK Ramanujan, etc. developed Palinology. So Palinology was developed by Nair and Ramanujan Wodehouse. So they have developed Palinology. What is Palinology? We will be seeing later. So next, so V.S. Ramadas made significant contribution to C3 photosynthesis. So here Ramanujan, C.G.K. Ramanujan has developed Palinology. Here next, this V.S. Ramadas made a significant contribution to C3 cycle. Next, taxonomists like Bessie, Rendell, Hutchinson, Tajikistan. So these scientists, they have a Cronquist proposed here. Cronquist. Takhtajan. So Hutchinson, Takhtajan, Cronquist has proposed a phylogenetic classification. Here phylogenetic, very important. They classified phylogenetic classification during 20th century. They may give the scientist name Hutchinson or Takhtajan or Cronquist. They may give any of the scientists and they will be asking which type of classification they have done. So that is a phylogenetic classification. So these are the, so otherwise they will be giving names of some scientists. They will be asking whether they are taxonomists, palinologists, like this. They will be asking. So you have to answer according to that. Okay. So next. Here, so here this is the about a different scientists who worked on different things, and next these are not only these are the scientists, so many scientists were there, so many scientists are there, they are doing still experiments. And Hugo de Vries, who did experiments on mutation. So Hugo de Vries explained about mutations in plants by Hugo de Vries in 1901. So next Hanning, Shimakura, Skoog, White, Nishe, Maheshwari. So they have developed a significant development botany. So by the different techniques, tissue culture techniques, they did tissue culture techniques. Those are Hanning, Shimakura, Skoog, White, Nishe, Maheshwari. They play major role in tissue culture techniques. So many scientists were there. So these scientists, Hill, Rubin, Arnon, Emerson, so they did experiments on photosynthesis. So these are all the scientists, they helped out for the biology and different principles and principles of biology. Here, next we go with the so scope of biology. What is the scope of biology? Here we will be discussing about the scope of biology. Scope. So what is the scope? Here, so ancient times, so importance of plants and their products was not much known. So after that, they have started developing domestication of plants, so crop cultivation, all these things are developed. After that, that will be helpful for the decreasing in the food scarcity, decreasing in the food scarcity. So the resources will be increased and it will be decreasing the scarcity of food. So increasing the population, nowadays increasing the population. So you know, geometrical ratio, arithmetical ratio, like that, increasing the population, geometrical ratio, but the food production is increasing only arithmetical ratio. So that will be decreased by our technique called green revolution. Green revolution was developed there. There were so many plants were developed and they have generated much food for the increasing population. That decreases that enhance the crop yield. So due to the green revolution, the enhancing of crop yield was done according to the population. So next, different principles of biotechnology. You know, biotechnology. So different principles of biotechnology that will be helpful for the scope of biology. And hybridization, genetic engineering, plant breeding, so plant physiology, phytopathology, tissue and organ culture, they have developed many things in the biology. So from the plant, so many products we are going to get. So you have observed in algae, so the chlorella is used as food for the astronauts. So next, iodine, agar. So whatever the food, most of the food, whatever we are getting, so they are directly or indirectly, they depend upon the plants. So when we observe the plants and we understand the metabolic activities of plants, we can able to know different products of the plants, and that will be helpful for the different our humans. So that will be helpful. So here the scope of biology, so large variety of plants we can able to understand, and that will be helpful for the human race. So here next, so several seaweeds are also indicate the wide scope of botany for the contemporary world and it's the present day context. So next, so this is the scope of biology. And next, branches of biology. So very important. So branches of biology is very important. So many times the questions have asked. So what are the branches of biology? So biology has based on the application of physical and chemical principles. So these have physical principles and chemical principles. Physical principles, so by principles they have divided into different branches. New branches still emerging from the biology. So biophysics, biochemistry, molecular biology, biotechnology, etc. All these are branches of biology. So biology will be helpful for the, so in 19th and 20th century, so many branches has evolved. So expanded, the botany expanded like anything. So the knowledge of botany is expanded, and also useful things were identified from this biology. Many things, many branches has evolved, and useful products are produced from this different branches. So branches of botany, what are the branches of botany, what are they, that we are going to understand. So different branches of botany. First one is morphology. What is morphology? Morphology, so if you understand the study and description of different organs of a plant, so description, the study and description of different organs of plant, it is fundamental classification of plants. It can be divided into two parts. So one is external morphology, another one internal morphology. External, when you come to the external morphology, only it study the description of external characters of plant, like root, stem, leaf, flower, so fruit. These external morphology. So morphology is divided into external and internal. Again, internal morphology is divided into histology and anatomy. So what is this internal morphology? Internal morphology means they have the study of internal structure of different plant. Histology means the study of different tissues. So very important, the tissues, the study of different tissues present in the plant body, that was developed by histology, that was done by histology. Anatomy means the study of internal detail of plant organs, like internal structure of root, stem, leaf, and flower, seed, etc. So branches, all these things were developed and studied by using the anatomy. So the morphology is of external morphology and internal morphology. External morphology study the description of external characters, like external characters, root, how the root is big or small, root hairs are present or absent. So these are which condition and which color it is. All these things, stem is in which color, branches are there or not. So these things will be observed in the external morphology. If you take the leaf, petiole is present or petiole is absent, these things we can observe in the external morphology. When you take the internal morphology, we can able to understand histology and anatomy. Histology means a study of internal tissues, and anatomy means a study of internal organs like root, stem, leaf, fruit, flower. All these internal structures will be identified. That is nothing but internal anatomy. And next, cytology or cell biology, study of structure and functions of cell and cell organelles. So study of structure of cell and cell organelles. So here the cell biology mainly deals with the study and structure of cell and cell organelles. So next, so cell and cell organelles and their multiplication means cell division is also under this. Cell division, mitosis, meiosis, all these things will be under cell biology. So cell biology also plays a major role. And next one is embryology. Embryology deals with the study of development of male and female gametophytes, formation of gametes, process of fertilization, development of embryo, endosperm, and seed. So all the developmental studies of from the gamete to the till the development of seed. So all these things will be studied in the embryology. And next, so we have discussed Palinology regarding. So here we are going to observe what is Palinology. Palinology is the study and the development structure and all the aspect related to pollen grains. So Palinology means study of pollen grains. So these pollen grains are also called microspores. So microspores, why? Because compared to male gametes, compared to female gametes, the male gametes are nothing but these pollen grains. The pollen grains are small in size, microscopic in nature. So these are called microspores. So when come to the next branch, taxonomy or systematic botany. What is this taxonomy? Taxonomy we have studied in the living organism. So taxonomy, it deals with so here identification, nomenclature, and classification. So here we have to identify the plant, we have to characterize the plants, we have to nomenclature, giving name to that particular plant, and we are going to be classifying that particular plants. So that will be on the basis of information obtained from different fields of botany. So from the different fields of botany, we get the information. According to that information, so we can identify characterization, nomenclature, and classification is going to be happen. That is called taxonomy. And next, physiology. What is this physiology? So we know the physiology in human beings and physiology in plants also. What is this physiology? So physiology deals with the study of different vital activities like absorption of water and minerals, photosynthesis, nitrogen metabolism, growth, respiration. So all the metabolic activities, whatever the metabolic activities which is there. So totally it is nothing but physiology. These come under physiology. So vital activities of the plants. So all the vital activities which will be important for the plant. So that is under the physiology. And next one is plant ecology. Next one is plant ecology. What is this plant ecology? Ecology. So here ecology, the term ecology was proposed by recently, just now we have discussed Haeckel. So Haeckel is a scientist who proposed the term plant ecology. So here the study of reciprocal relationship between the plants and the environment. So other than so every organism has to interact with the environment. Without the environment, any organism can't live. So there will be interrelationship between the living organisms and the environment will be taken place. That is nothing but ecology. Here the reciprocal relationship between plants and the environment. So that is nothing but plant ecology. Here the plant has to be depend upon the soil, water, air, and sunlight. These are all the plant depend upon the environment. So that relationship between the plant and the environment is called plant ecology. So next, paleobotany. So paleobotany is the study of dealing of the plant. So paleobotany here. So the study of fossil plants. The study of fossil plants is called paleobotany. So it helps us in understanding the evolution in plants. So paleobotany we can able to understand by using the paleobotany we can able to understand the evolution in plants. So next, genetics. So genetics deals with all aspects related to genes, their structure, synthesis, inheritance, mutation, all the things which are involved regarding genes. That will be synthesis, structure, inheritance, mutations, everything is by genetics. So it deals with the so many aspects. So next, phytogeography. Phytogeography. So phytogeography is nothing this of study of geographical distribution of plants. Geographical distribution of plants. So some plants are available in India. Some plants grow in only in Australia. So some plants grow cosmopolitan everywhere in the world. So like that. So geographically where the plants is we are going to get, and study of geographical distribution of plants, previous and now. So past and present, that will be by phytogeography. And next, plant pathology. So this is also important. So plant pathology. So the diseases, the study of causes, symptoms, and methods of control of plant diseases. So study of causes, symptoms, and methods of control of plant diseases is called plant pathology. So different diseases, the plant also get different diseases, that will be understand. So what are the causes for the disease, what are the symptoms of that disease, what are the methods of control of the plant disease, that is under plant pathology. And next, that is phycology. It is a study of all aspects related to algae, which are chlorophyllus and autotrophic thallophytes. So they are related to algae. The study of algae is called phycology. And next, mycology means mycology means study of fungi. So the study of fungi. So the fungi is non-chlorophyllus heterotrophic thallophyte. The study of fungi is called mycology. And next, Lycanology. Lycanology means a study of lichens. Here, lichens are the indicators of pollution we have discussed. The study of lichens, which are special group of plants where the algal member and the fungal member live together as symbionts. So algae and fungi. So symbiosis is nothing but lichens. So this study is called Lycanology. Lycanology. So next, bryology. Bryology means, so bryology means study of bryophytes. Biology means study of bryophytes. So bryophytes are amphibians in the plant kingdom. So we have discussed they are not containing two root, two stem, two leaves. So they don't contain 8 tracheophytes. They are 8 tracheophytes. So means the vascular tissue, xylem and phloem is absent. That's why they are not two root, two stem, two leaves. So here the bryology is a study of bryophytes, so the mosses. So next pteridology. The pteridology is nothing but study of vascular cryptogams. Those are pteridophytes. Study of pteridophytes. Study of pteridophytes is called pteridology. Okay. So these are the different branches of botany biology. So botany regarding plants, regarding branches of botany, they are morphology, cytology, embryology, palinology, taxonomy, physiology, plant ecology, paleobotany, genetics, phytogeography, plant pathology, phycology, mycology, lycanology, bryology, and pteridology. Not only this, so many are there still. So these are the different branches of botany, and this will be helpful for the study of plants. So next, so here we have to discuss some points regarding this scope of botany also. So the botany is, so there are so many production of antibiotics, bioinsecticides, single cell proteins. So example, spirulina and chlorella. So these are the single cell proteins that will be used much. It is also made possible by this studying of different plants. So in the study of different plants, yielding results into useful things of different plants like algae and even the plants. So the fuels also we are going to get by the plants. Those are by the petroplants. So what are the petroplants? Means Jatropha and Pongamia. So these are the petroplants. So from this we are going to get the biodiesel. So some plants, so some of the algae and fungi, they will be useful for the preparation of biofertilizer. They act as biofertilizers. So example, azulla, nostoc, anabina, rhizobium, all these things. So by this we have finished the scope of science, the science of plants, the scope of plants, so scope of botany. So here we have discussed origin, development, scope, and different branches of botany. Thank you for listening this class, and all the best for your tomorrow's exam. Thank you so much.